Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Unwoke Thoughts. Big show today. Yes, believe it or not, big show today. We have a lot to talk about. RNC, of course, is going on at this moment. Yes, yesterday was day 3, so that means today is day 4. Good news, I can do math. Yes. But multiple congressmen and women confront Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheatle and demand an explanation of just what happened with the Secret Service during the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. What happened there, Cheatle? What happened? Why were there so many security failures to the point where it causes any rational person to consider that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't a security failure? Possibly there's more to the story, and they may tell you that you're crazy for thinking that. But are you, though? Are you? Nah. Perfectly normal things to question, of course. Donald Trump's granddaughter gave a speech at the RNC. Yes, it was pretty neat. And she shared some anecdotes that kind of show a different side of her grandpa. And if you are not moved by them, then you are simply not human. So we're going to watch that speech. It's about a 2.5 minute long speech. Very moving. She did a fantastic job. Peter Navarro made a surprise appearance at the RNC with his girlfriend just hours after being released from federal prison after serving 4 months for ignoring a subpoena by the provably corrupt J6 committee. Yeah, so he's out, and the RNC, very excited, erupted in applause, thunderous applause for Peter Navarro. Did some time. Matt Gaetz gave a speech at the RNC, and there is just something a little bit off about his appearance. I can't quite put my finger on it. I'm not too sure what it is, but we'll try and figure it out. Also, he has responded to the video that I showed you yesterday where he yelled at Kevin McCarthy, and we finally know what Kevin McCarthy was doing during this incident. So we'll find out what was going on, what the context was of the whole situation. The Trump-Vance campaign released a hilarious statement on the VP debates, so we'll look at that. Marjorie Taylor Green gets into it with a Times reporter and gives an absolute masterclass on how to dismantle these dishonest reporters. Very interesting. Here's a big one, guys. Very odd. A very wealthy private equity firm out of Texas took out a massive short on Donald Trump's media company stock, DJT. You know, the one that's attached to like True Social and all that. But that's not the weird part. The weird part is it was just hours before the assassination attempt. That seems a bit odd, don't you think? But I'm sure it must be a mistake, right? Well, the company has released a statement, and they do, of course, have an excuse, but I will leave it up to you whether you find it credible or not. Tiger Woods, yes, we're going to talk a little bit about Tiger Woods today. He said that he was so bothered by Trump's assassination attempt that he lost sleep over it. Wow. But I think we all did, Tiger. It's okay. It's okay, Tiger. Chuck Schumer has privately advised Joe Biden to step down. So are we finally witnessing what we all knew was coming? Are we? But could it be? Could it be that the fix is in? Joe Biden started his presidency during COVID, and now he might end it because of COVID. Interesting. Joe apparently has contracted COVID, and he's canceled an event because of it. But oddly enough, all the footage of him shows him completely maskless. It shows him completely maskless walking around in public. So what gives, Joe Biden? What's going on? We must stop the spread, right? We must stop it now. But ladies and gentlemen, before we get into it, if you could please do me a big favor, it really helps me out a lot. If you could hit that like button and share the stream if you could. But the first thing that we're talking about is These congressmen and women confronting the Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheatle. Yes, she is at the RNC. I actually did not even know she was attending the RNC, but after her massive screw up in Butler, Pennsylvania, I guess she is overseeing the event herself. Now, I don't know if that makes me feel better or more uneasy. You guys let me know. But this is, I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I have 3 videos of these individuals confronting the Secret Service Director. Here's the first one. Watch.
This is exactly what we were doing today on the call.
This was an assassination attempt. You owe the people answers. You owe President Trump answers.
As she's climbing up the stairs, they're chasing her. There's like a line of people.
Marjorie Taylor left across this plaza to the far corner.
This is exactly.
You know, I believe that that is an appropriate response, doing just considering the level of screw up that I almost said Marsha Blackburn. That was the congresswoman who was yelling at Kimberly Cheatle. But I believe it's an acceptable response. I mean, it's a fair question. I mean, I've said it. The Secret Service gets $3.2 billion a year from the taxpayer. That's a lot of money, okay? I don't care who you are. That is a lot of money. And with that money, their entire job is to protect high-profile individuals. And Trump, he's not just a high-profile individual. He is the highest of profile individuals. Just the facts of the matter. One step down from Biden is Trump. He's running for president. The two people that you would want to make sure that you are protecting the most, Joe Biden and Donald Trump. They are the highest profile individuals that the Secret Service is tasked with protecting. Yet, when we look at what happened Saturday, any rational person will have questions in their mind as to what happened with that building. You don't have to be a security expert. I'm not. I've never been on a security team in my life. I've never been a part of the Secret Service. I've never been in the military. But even I know one of the first things that you should secure if, say, a presidential candidate was coming into your town is to look at all the high vantage points. I mean, it's just intuitive. It's logical just to think that. You know, it's like one of the first things, obvious. But so since that was an obvious security failure to the point where we got to ask questions about it, was it actually a failure? I think it's appropriate to ask Kimberly Cheatle questions like this and follow her around and demand answers. And personally, I believe that she should resign. But we have more. I believe they finally kind of cornered Kimberly Cheatle a little bit. And here's Marsha Blackburn demanding answers once again from Kimberly Cheatle. And Kimberly responds for a short moment.
All of us were on the call today. Very disappointed. We were all in the queue trying to answer questions, and until we run out of questions, they hadn't. Every one of us had questions that we wanted to ask. We felt we didn't get any of the responses that were necessary from you. Very disappointed in your leadership. I have called for your resignation, and I want you to resign tonight or start answering our questions right now about the death threat to President Trump and allowing him to go on stage in Pennsylvania at a time when he'd already been alerted that there was somebody with a spotter, all these situations already identified an hour before, and you let him go on stage without the knowledge of him, the team on the ground, and you will put him with...
Well, let me fast forward a little bit to Marsha Blackburn.
According to the timeline of your deputy,
a 4-minute-long video.
You identified a potential threat, and then it tried to continue. You told, or someone told, that the snipers that he was there. But can you give us an explanation? Why would anyone allow the president to go on stage when you know you've got a potential threat?
So I know it's hard to hear, but here's when she responds.
Thank the partners who have helped secure the Republican National Convention, and I was not going to take away from their safety.
Well, we can find a place to go right now.
Yes. All right,
So they're demanding answers right now, right? We have the lady who runs the Secret Service department, institution, however you want to say it. But she had literally I guess, if you want to be gracious about it, her most massive screw up in her entire career, if it was a screw up. And she is overseeing personally, I guess, the security at the RNC, or Trump security at the RNC. And she, people are demanding that she give answers as to how did this actually happen in the first place. She says, well, let's wait till the appropriate venue. It's like, okay, where's the appropriate venue? I do believe she is being called to testify before Congress next Monday, or this coming Monday at least. And if that actually happens, I will be live streaming that one. So make sure you check back and subscribe and hit that notification if you haven't yet, because that will be a very interesting one. But moving on, guys, this one was very sweet. I don't care who you are. This is very sweet. Trump's granddaughter gives a moving speech at the RNC that, like I said, gives you kind of a different perspective on Donald Trump. Watch this.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kai Madison Trump. I am the granddaughter of Donald Trump. I'm speaking today to share the side of my grandpa that people don't often see. To me, he's just a normal grandpa. He gives us candy and soda when our parents aren't looking. He always wants to know how we're doing in school. When I made the high honor roll, he printed it out to show his friends how proud he was of me.
Aw, come on.
I know.
Come on. Trump, what a softie, right? What a softie.
He calls me during the middle of the school day to ask how my golf game is going and tells me all about his. But then I have to remind him that I'm in school and I'll have to call him back later. When we play golf together, if I'm not on his team, he'll try to get inside of my head. I know. And he's always surprised that I don't let him get to me. But I have to remind him I'm a Trump too.
Look at Trump. He looks genuinely happy. Like, come on.
Even when he's going through all these court cases, he always asks me how I'm doing. He always encourages me to push myself to be the most successful person I can be. Obviously, he sets the bar pretty high, but who knows, maybe one day I'll catch him. On Saturday, I was shocked when I heard that he has been shot, and I just wanted to know if he was okay. It was heartbreaking that someone would do that to another person. A lot of people have put my grandpa through hell, and he's still standing.
Wow.
Grandpa, you are such an inspiration, and I love you. The media makes my grandpa seem like a different person, but I know him for who he is. He's very caring and loving. He truly wants the best for this country, and he will fight every single day to make America great again. Thank you very much.
Let's go. One final smile from Trump. It cuts away, but it looks like Trump gives her a standing ovation. I mean, what a absolute sweet, just heartwarming speech by Don Jr.'s daughter, Donald Trump's granddaughter. And I was thinking while watching her speech, she's kind of giving us a window into what it's like to be Donald Trump's granddaughter. But I'm thinking, how weird would it be to be Donald Trump's granddaughter in the first place? That would just be so strange. Hold on a second, guys. What? My headphone was, I'm having problems with my headphones lately. This left ear is giving out. But it would be so strange to have Donald Trump as your grandpa. That'd be so weird. She says, yeah, he calls me during school. I'd have to say, Grandpa, I've got to go. I've got school. Okay, honey. Okay. And just call me back. Man, it's what a weird look. Just be strange. Donald Trump as your grandpa. That'd be awesome. That'd be absolutely awesome. And it sounds awesome. So, but moving on to Peter Navarro, guys. Peter Navarro makes a surprising appearance at the RNC just hours after his release from federal prison. Here he is walking into the RNC like a G. Look at this. Peter Navarro, the man,
How's it going?
the legend. Promoting his book. Everyone buy his book. He deserves it. He spent 4 months in federal prison for something that's ridiculous. So Peter Navarro making a hero's entrance into the RNC yesterday, and this is when he actually entered into the event center of the RNC. It erupted in thunderous applause. Watch.
Peter Navarro
Gave a speech. What a man. He's an OG. He's one of the OGs. He's one of the OG MAGA guys. And he's great, Peter Navarro. A little bit later, during his speech, he explains how the J6 committee tried to get him to betray Trump, but he flatly refused. He says, no, not going to do that. I'm not going to betray Trump because betraying Trump would mean betraying my country.
Here's how it went. Here's how I got in prison. The legislative branch came for me first. Your favorite Democrat, Nancy Pelosi.
Boo! Boo, Nancy! Boo!
Created your favorite committee, the sham January 6th committee.
Boo!
Which demanded that I violate executive privilege. What did I do? I refused. The J6 committee demanded that I betray Donald John Trump to save my own skin. I refused.
What a G. Yes. Loyalty.
Here's the thing about the Constitution. They demanded that I break the law because they have no respect for it.
So, yes, Peter Navarro gives an absolutely fantastic speech. It was one of the best speeches of the night, I believe. And then after his speech, he brought his girlfriend up onto the stage, and he kisses her first, and he says that she did the time with him because, of course, she was at home alone.
I'm Peter Navarro. I went to prison so you won't have to. This is my beautiful girl. She did the time with me. That's what these friggin' Democrats don't understand. They do this to our families.
Oh, he kisses her after.
She's my girl.
Okay. There we go. She's my woman.
I love you. Let's win. Do not let up. Do not let up.
Do not let up.
Medal till November.
Amazing speech. Amazing appearance by Peter Navarro. Can't get any better than that, guys. OG MAGA guy. OG. What a G. But moving on to Matt Gaetz. Guys, you've got to tell me this. You've got to tell me. Why does Matt Gaetz look like this? Please tell me. What is going on with Matt Gaetz? This is a real photo. This is not fake. What's going on, Matt? Did you get some Botox injections? He looks like he got Botox injections. I would put money on it that he got some sort of Botox injections. What is going on, dude? I love you, man. You know I do. But what the heck? He looks like he got a spray tan, maybe. And Botox. He got a little bit of the injections into his face, if you will. What do you guys think? Tell me, what do you think is going on here with Matt Gaetz? Because there's obviously something. This is not his normal look, okay? You know, good-looking guy and all, but this is, I don't know. It's just something a bit off. Bit off. I can't put a finger on it. I think it's Botox, but I'm not a Botox expert by any stretch of the imagination. But we have another view. Remember, I told you yesterday we weren't exactly sure the whole context, what was going on when Matt Gaetz confronted Kevin McCarthy from that video from yesterday. But now we have another view of it, and it looks like Kevin McCarthy was giving an interview to CNN's Caitlin Clark. Yes, my favorite. You guys know that's a lie. I cannot stand Caitlin Clark. I just can't stand to look at her face. But McCarthy was giving an interview with her live on CNN right here. Look at that. When Matt Gaetz interrupted. Watch.
One who's not coming back, and then the other part that you have, and the other part you have is one person who raised the issue. He's got an ethics complaint about sleeping with a 17-year-old. So that's the way they would go. So that's the biggest challenge we have. One who's not coming back.
So it's hard to kind of hear Matt Gaetz, but of course he says, "When are you speaking? What night are you speaking? Hey, if you took that stage, you would be booed off of it." And I fact checked it, and it was true. Fact check true. Kevin McCarthy, if he took the RNC stage, he will be and should be booed off that stage because he is a rhino swamp rat. Sorry to say. Matt Gaetz has responded to everyone tweeting out these multiple videos of him confronting McCarthy. One of the guys, of course, you saw in the last video where he said he cusses at Matt Gaetz. He says, "Get the F out of here, Gaetz." And Gaetz is like, I don't even know who you are. So also fact check true. Matt Gaetz is an alpha male. But this is Matt Gaetz who retweeted the video that I just told you about, right?
What night are you speaking? Are you speaking tonight?
He retweeted the video and he responded. He said, "No lie detected." So I love it. Unashamed. Yes, unashamed of confronting the swamp rats. Love it, Matt Gaetz. That's why he's one of my favorites. Because sometimes you just gotta do stuff like this. Sometimes embarrassment is the key to getting these people to change their ways. Embarrassing them live on CNN, live. Because these people like Kevin McCarthy, they're human too. They don't want to be embarrassed. When Matt Gaetz approaches him live on CNN, that's an embarrassment. And I love it. I absolutely love it. JD Vance. Don't have a whole lot about JD Vance because honestly, guys, I'm a little bit bored by JD Vance. He's boring, which I guess is okay. Vice president should be boring. He bores me. His whole country bumpkin shtick is kind of, I don't know if I believe it. I don't know if I buy it. But maybe, I don't know. He's all right, I guess. Whatever. But there's a video that shows JD Vance making a beeline for Marjorie Taylor Green and completely ignoring Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and she looks pissed. Okay, I gotta mute that. So he's like, "Hey, it's Marjorie," and look at Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She does not look happy, or she looks disappointed. She's like, "Oh man." When does this video? Okay, this video kind of starts. So maybe I hope this is not clipped out of context. I didn't watch this like whole part of the RNC. So maybe he did greet Sarah Huckabee Sanders, but it doesn't look like he does. It is clipped kind of early, so it's a little bit, I don't know. This person says JD Maybelline ignores Huckabeast. So I like Huckabee. I like Sarah Huckabee. I have a lot of family in Arkansas, and she's good. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, good. Marjorie Taylor Green, guys, this is brilliant. I absolutely love this one. She goes off on a mainstream media reporter and blames him for the division and the Trump assassination attempt. All the lies, all the dishonest reporting, how they try to twist, words and events, and they ignore certain things and they focus on certain things to try to craft, like in their lab, like scientists, with like all of their like potions. They are doing all this to craft, like a scientist, a narrative that will brainwash the American people. And Marjorie Taylor Green calls one of these people who engages in this behavior, she calls her out on it. Watch.
Like me, President Trump, I have some of the most highest amount of death threats because of people like you, because you choose to only take certain words from people, and then that's what you want to report. Shame on you. Shame on you.
But
Because
no.
You're the problem. And where's this woman from?
The Times.
You're from
London.
the Times? Okay, you're ridiculous. And you're the problem in our country. You lie about people like me. This is the first time you've ever talked to me. I want you to know I'm a regular person like you. I'm also a mom. I have 3 kids. And we have to put up with the most unreal amount of bullshit because of little liars like you that take your job and turn it into political activism. Your job is the press. You should report the news, not lie, not lie about it. You don't get to ask any more questions. I'm done with you because you're the cause. You're the cause of our country. You're the cause of our country being divided. You're the cause of our country being divided. You're the cause of President Trump almost being assassinated. You're the cause of everything wrong in America. No, you're done. You're done. Yeah, go back.
Thank you.
Is JD Vance going to be?
So, in the words of Matt Gaetz, no lie detected from Marjorie Taylor Green. I absolutely love it. She shows like, hey, listen, it's okay to engage in serious discussion or in serious conversation with journalists, reporters. That is, the freedom of press is in the Constitution. That's okay. But when they try to focus on certain things and they try to twist your words, at some point you got to be like, listen, you got to push back. You got to teach them a lesson. Like, listen, if you're going to do this to me, I'm going to call you out on it. And then again, you're not going to even get a comment from me in the first place. All you're going to get is pushback saying, why are you doing X, Y, and Z every single time? Every time I flip on the news, every time I look at a website, a headline, it's always engineered in a very specific way. Why is that? Why is that? We know why it is, but the only way we can get them, hopefully, to maybe make a change is by pointing it out and be like, listen, we're on to you. We know what you're doing. I think Donald Trump was like one of the original ones that really kind of popularized it to call out the media. And that's why I love Trump so much, because that right there is really back in the day what got me aboard of the Trump train, because I always looked at the media as a joke. And when Trump started calling it out, I'm like, man, this guy's crazy. This guy's insane. He calls them out to their face. Hey, look, CNN over there, fake news. I loved it. But good video by Marjorie Taylor Green. Fantastic job. On day 3 of the RNC, which was yesterday, Donald Trump arrives. He arrives at the RNC, another fantastic entrance. I can't play the music once again because it is copyrighted, guys, but still wearing his big bandage. Love it. You love to see it. Some Democrats are getting kind of ticked off about it. Well, why does he have to wear such a big bandage? Listen, guys, you don't get to say that. You don't get to say that. You don't get to complain. If I were in his position, I'd do the same dang thing. Like I said, the first day, hey, look at Democrats. So you see this? This is the result of leftist ideology right here. Right here. Check it out. But another great entrance by Donald Trump. Trump Vance campaign now, actually, has released a statement about the VP debate, and it's glorious. This is officially July 17, 2024, Trump campaign response to vice presidential debates. And they say, we don't know who the Democrat nominee for vice president is going to be, so we can't lock in a date before their convention. To do so would be unfair to Gavin Newsom, J.B. Pritzker, Gretchen Whitmer, or whoever Kamala Harris picks as her running mate. This was released by Brian Hughes, Trump campaign senior advisor. So he makes a good point. Who is going to be the VP? And who is going to be the presidential nominee for the Democrats? We still don't know. It's still presumably, I guess, Joe Biden, but presumably, but not probably. Presumably, but not probably. Unlikely. But maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they've just given up completely. Who knows? This is a pretty neat one. Trump gives a private speech at the RNC where he talks about his attempted assassination. This was a private event, a smaller event at the RNC. Someone must have slipped in their cell phone and took this video.
I wish I had that happen, but I got lucky. God was with me, I tell you. That's what they call a close call. That was an amazing, horrible thing, amazing thing, and in many ways it changes your attitude, your viewpoint on life, and I think, honestly, I think you appreciate God even more, really do, because something happened that not that it was pleasant. It wasn't like it was a complete miss, but it was pretty terrible that can happen, and it happens too often. We have things going on, just crime in our country is so bad, and things are going on with our country. We're going to fix it. We're going to make it. Yes. Back. We're going to bring it back.
So he says it makes you think about God a lot more. So Donald Trump, brushed with death, is he becoming more religious? It looks like maybe. All right. I just clicked on a link and it brought me to the wrong one. So I'm going to have to find it for you because this one was funny. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Here we go. This was the good one, guys. All right. I found it. Don't worry. We're back. We are back. I can improvise sometimes. Ron DeSantis. His voice cracks when he is giving a speech at the RNC. I'm not doing this to make fun of Ron DeSantis, but it was a memorable thing. I thought it was funny. I make fun of everybody, all right, guys, but listen to Ron DeSantis, his voice. And the worst part about it is when he talks about they don't even know what a woman is, and his voice cracks. Watch.
They can't even define what a woman is.
Oh, so close.
They can't even define what a woman is.
No, Ron, no.
They can't even define what a woman
is. Man, okay, I really like Ron DeSantis a lot, but man, is that guy an absolute gaffe machine? Not as bad as Joe Biden, not on the same level. Completely different category of gaffes, by the way. Just kind of awkward gaffes. He's just kind of like an awkward, person, it seems like. Great policies. Runs Florida like a machine. Love it. Love Ron DeSantis. But I can recognize when a guy is a gaffe machine. And that guy is definitely a gaffe machine. Remember his shoes? Remember the platforms in his shoes or his heels in his shoes? Man, that was great. I think back to those days. Reminisce. Seems like 100 years ago, but no, it was only a few months ago. Believe it or not, that was only a few months ago when I was making fun of Ron DeSantis and the heels in his shoes. Tucker Carlson at the RNC, he says after Saturday, Trump won. He's like, you know what? Trump's got this. After Saturday, are you kidding me? No way. Trump has it.
So I find it thrilling.
Tucker, the past 24 hours has been wild, the amount of news that has come out. How did the attempted assassination on former President Donald Trump change this election?
Well, Trump won, when that happened because he displayed physical courage. And, if you live in a society where people are literally dating by remote, virtually, and working virtually, you can kind of lose touch with the physical reality of life. But the unchanging truth is that leadership requires courage, and not just abstract courage, moral courage, but physical courage. Someone starts shooting a rifle. Like, are you going to wet yourself and start crying and run away? Or are you going to stand up and look at your people and raise your fist and say, fight? And very few people are capable of doing that. And he is. And therefore he wins. Because that supersedes all this nonsense that we talk ourselves into believing is important. No, the guy got shot in the face. He stood up with blood streaming down the side of his head, blood on his hands, and said, fight. Totally defiant. That's an act of undeniable courage that was not staged. You couldn't stage that. And that man is the leader. And he wins. And by the way, notice what happens to everyone in the crowd. When a leader is strong, his people are calm. His courage gives them heart. That's true for a father, and it's true for a president. So yeah, he just won, and he deserves to win. Like that was the
So eloquent, absolutely eloquent remark by Tucker Carlson. Eloquent as usual. Makes some very good points. Hey, he won. He displayed courage when courage needed to be displayed, when everyone was in chaos, freaking out, screaming, wondering what happened. Donald Trump, he didn't know that, that the person was taken out by the Secret Service yet. He didn't know. He didn't know if there was, other people coming after him. He stood above the Secret Service, and while his rally goers, the crowd, was freaking out, wondering what the heck is going on, he displayed superhuman courage and said, fight, fight, fight. And the crowd started chanting along, calming them down, letting them know that he was okay. Everything was okay. Everything was going to be fine. That's what a true leader does. Rudy Giuliani, he fell down at the RNC. I hope he's okay, but this is what happened. He must have tripped on something. I don't know. Did he trip? But he had a little tumble at the RNC. Hopefully America's mayor is okay. Big fan of Rudy. Some people helping him up. Older gentleman right there. Fantastic guy. I mean, really. He did a lot for New York. Let me tell you, a lot. Believe it or not, guys, I actually flew on a plane with Rudy Giuliani once. This was years ago, between Austin and Dallas. Was I flying to Dallas from Austin, or was I flying out of Dallas? I forget exactly. It was either in Austin or Dallas where the plane was leaving from. Totally random. Didn't expect to see him. Just a commercial jet. Walked on the plane. Looked to my left, and there was Rudy Giuliani and one of his security detail sitting in first class. Nobody knew, really. This was before all of the Trump stuff and whatnot. I don't think anybody really recognized him other than myself, because at the time I was a political science major at the University of Texas in Austin. So it was pretty interesting, just randomly. So that's the story I tell every now and then. We've got more people at the RNC confronting the media for their dishonest reporting. It's right here. A reporter for an independent media outlet called Tenant Media. This is one of the media companies that is attached to Tim Pool. Tenant Media. I believe this guy's name is Taylor Hanson. I think that's his name. Does fantastic work. But he confronts Jake Tapper over his years of comparing Trump to Hitler. I think it's a fair thing to ask somebody, why are you doing this? And then, we saw what happened Saturday, building up years of this rhetoric about Trump being, in really the public's perspective, the public's eyes, in the history books, built up to this super awful person, to where it's in everyone's mind that Hitler, the worst person that they could imagine. That's everyone basically can imagine Hitler only as the most worst person in history of really the world. So they compare Trump to the worst person in literally all of history ad nauseum, constantly, every single day doing this. And then something like Saturday happens. It's not out of the realm of possibility that maybe you contributed to that action. So, of course, Taylor here is asking Jake Tapper, hey, what's going on here, Jake?
Do you think that, you essentially comparing him to Hitler over the past few years, calling him a fascist, do you think that led to the rhetoric that ultimately led to the assassination attempt on his life? Mr. Tapper, do you have any comments to defend, the CNN described the assassination early on when early reports came out as they were essentially picking Trump up after he fell on stage. Do you have anything to say about that? Nothing to say, Mr. Tapper, about comparing Trump to
nothing to say.
Essentially Adolf Hitler, saying that if he's elected, it's going to be the downfall of democracy.
So he's pretty much just silent the entire time. I'm trying to get what? Okay, I got my right headphone is working, but my left one is not, guys. Okay. Oh, there we go. We're good. I have to get a new pair of headphones. I did buy a new pair, but I didn't like them. So I've got to get a different new pair. I got to return those. All right, back on the rails. We're back. Large YouTube streamer. I don't know if you know who this is. He's a liberal YouTube streamer. Massive account on YouTube. His name is Destiny. He went on Piers Morgan's Uncensored. And he's been kind of getting into it on Twitter a lot, bashing conservatives and making fun of not just Trump for the whole assassination attempt, but also the guy, Corey Comparator, the fireman guy who fell victim to the failed assassin. Made fun of him on Twitter. So he's been kind of getting into some weird realms. But Piers Morgan asked him if he condemns the attempted assassination on Donald Trump. And he says, guess what? He says no.
Absolute indifference.
No, do you condemn the shooter shooting Donald Trump?
No, not here, not on this program, not in front of these people. Absolutely
you do not condemn a deranged shooter shooting Donald Trump.
You are truly just a child. This is not.
Actually, it's not. No, you know what,
We're
Charlie?
Just trying to be decent human
You know what,
beings.
Charlie? It's not actually the behaviour of a child. It's the behaviour of somebody who's completely lost his moral compass.
So I agree. Who would say something like that? That's just an insane thing to say. Insane. I don't care who you are. I mean, if Joe Biden got into a situation like that, God forbid, I'd be like, of course I condemn it. No, this is not how we fix things. Absolutely not. It's sad. It should not happen. And I do not like Joe Biden. Obviously. I think all of you would be kind of the same thing. The same thing. So it's interesting to see that. This is a prominent liberal YouTuber, streamer. He's a debater. And that's what he has to say. Incredible. This was released yesterday. A Texas investment firm called Austin Private Wealth LLC shorted 12 million shares. 12 mil. That's nearly $500 million. If you want me to do the math for you, of how much that is worth of shares of True Social or DJT stock. But 12 million shares of Trump's True Social stock hours before the assassination attempt. This is the largest bet they've ever made against a stock. Yeah. A little bit odd, right? Right here you can see it's true. Trump Media and Technology Group. Right here. 12 million put. 12 million. 12 million shares. That is a lot of money, let me tell you. So what happened? You guys think that there's something nefarious going on here? Or was it just a good guess? They just decided, just randomly, that they were going to do this. Nearly $500 million put short. Interesting. It doesn't sound random. But then, it went horribly wrong because he missed. The guy missed. So, oh no, scramble. But they have since came out and they've made a correction. They say that it was a mistake. This is what they say, guys. So we're going to look at this and see what's going on here because it is very suspicious. Massive bet on Trump stock falling day before he was shot was, quote, an error. Okay. Let's see what Austin Private Wealth LLC has to say. But Austin Private Wealth LLC filed with the SEC that they had placed a put or a short on 12 million shares in Trump's media company DJT hours before a failed assassination attempt. Then it explains what a short is. Of course, means that you make money when the stock drops. But they later amended the filing and issued a statement claiming it was a clerical error. This is their statement from Austin Private Wealth LLC. The SEC filing, which showed that Austin Private Wealth shorted a large number of shares of Trump Media and Technology Group, was incorrect, and we immediately amended it as soon as we learned of the error. So I wonder what time they amended it. That's my that would be my question. What time during the day did you amend that to the SEC? I would like to know. Because if it was before, maybe. But if it was after, I don't know. Might have to call BS on that one. Austin Private Wealth LLC. But they say no client of APW holds or has ever held a put on DJT in the quantity initially reported. The correct holding amount was 12 contracts or 1,200 shares, not 12 million shares, as was filed in error. In submitting the required report for the second quarter of 2024, a multiplier was applied by a third-party vendor that increased the number of shares by a multiple of 10,000 for all options contracts, not just DJT. So it looks like it may be an error, the way he explains it here. So they're explaining it. Now they say we did not catch the error before approving the filing. So let's look at right here. So this is the picture that's attached. Right here you see Austin Private Wealth LLC, 12 million shares. So interesting. So was it a mistake? I don't know, guys. It's up to you to figure out. It's up to you. I don't know. Seems a little bit weird. That, oh, it was a mistake. Sorry. Oops. Maybe, maybe not. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer subpoenas Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheatle, of course. We'll just read a little section of this subpoena coming from the House Oversight Committee. Director Cheatle, the Committee on Oversight and Accountability, is investigating the July 13, 2024 assassination attempt on former President Donald J. Trump. The Oversight Committee is subpoenaing you, Director of the U.S. Secret Service, to appear for a public hearing on July 22nd, 2024. And I believe that is Monday. So I will be streaming that if that actually happens. A little bit more information on the FBI identified would-be assassin, Thomas Matthew Crooks. Looks like Thomas Crooks took the day off work to attend this rally and attempt the assassination. Thomas Crooks the would-be assassin in the Trump assassination attempt took Saturday off work, telling his boss he had, quote, something to do. By 3 p.m., Crooks was seen at the rally's security screening with a rangefinder. So, a little bit after 6 is when the incident happened. So he was there 3 p.m. with a rangefinder. Wow. Witnesses later saw him on the roof of the American Glass Research Building observing counter sniper teams. Investigators are uncertain if Crooks planned to use body armor, nearly 100 rounds of ammunition, and 2 remote-controlled explosives. So, Thomas Matthew Crooks looks like took the day off work. He had something important to do. So very interesting. Also, a little bit more that is kind of trickling out about this guy. Their parents have come forward and they're talking about how they actually reported Thomas Matthew Crooks missing to the police.
We have just learned that the Trump rally shooter Thomas Crooks' parents were looking for him in the hours leading up to the shooting. We're now told they eventually called law enforcement to report that Crooks was missing, and they were worried. And they also were told, those parents are now being cooperative now with authorities, but they gave them the heads up that something's going on.
So this is what sounds weird to me about this whole little story here. Did they really, though? Like, if I was a 20-year-old and I was gone for, I don't know, a lot of the day, I'm 20 years old. My parents, they're not going to be like worried. Oh, they might be worried, but they're not going to be worried to the point where they call the police. What? He's 20 years old. His parents get so worried because he's been gone for only a few hours that they call the police. Something just does not sound right with that story. I mean, maybe, but if I don't know, for those of you who are parents, if your 20-year-old didn't get back with you for, say, I don't know, 10 hours, 12 hours, would you be so worried that you call the cops? What? I don't know. I didn't grow up that way, but who knows? Maybe. I guess all people are different. Butler Township. You guys remember this whole story about the Secret Service saying that it was actually the police, the local police, that were supposed to secure this building, an area? Well, the police and now the Butler Township Commissioner has come forward denying responsibility for securing the building the assassin used. After, like I said, the Secret Service said they tasked the local police with the security of the building. And this looks like it's either a tweet, it's a post on, maybe Facebook. So this is the Butler Township Commissioner, Edward Natale. He says, I want to say, he reposted this from his personal account to his Butler Township Commissioner account. He said, I want to say as clearly as can be said, the Butler Township Police Department had no security detail for this event. There were 7 officers, all assigned to traffic detail, period. The BTPD was not, in all caps, not responsible for securing AGR, American Glass Research, or any other location. Anyone who says so, reports on it, implies it, etc., is uninformed, lying, or covering their own backsides. So, looks like the Secret Service was trying to do some CYA, and they got caught with their pants down, okay? I trust I am being loud and clear to read this article stating an unnamed United States Secret Service agents pointing the finger at local police is a very transparent deflection. I am disappointed this article was even published by Butler Radio Network. Then he goes into some of the statements that were made by the police. So, very adamant. He's like, listen, no, it actually, them saying that, they're either mistaken or they're outright lying or trying to cover their butts. Which one do you guys think it is? Which one do you guys think it is? I think they're trying to a little bit of both, okay? I don't think it's a mistake, though. That's one I just completely disregard, completely. All right, let's move on to something a little bit more interesting here. Tiger Woods. Yes, Tiger Woods. There we go. Okay. Tiger Woods says he lost sleep over Trump's attempted assassination. Like I said, I think we all did a little bit. We all went to bed a little bit late that night. A little bit worried, hoping everything was okay. But this was reported on by TMZ. Tiger Woods, I lost sleep over Trump's attempted assassination. Tiger Woods says he was so affected by Donald Trump's assassination attempt, he actually lost sleep over it, and he admitted it affected at least some of his preparation for this week's huge Open Championship. The golfing legend told BBC Sport he learned of it while on a plane ride from the States to Scotland on Saturday. Woods said he stayed up all night on his overseas flight, glued to the coverage of the attempt on the former president's life, and it bothered him so much it impacted his practice round at Royal Troon on Sunday. And this is a quote by him. He says, I didn't accomplish a lot because I wasn't in the right frame of mind. Then he says, it was a long night, and that's all we watched the entire time on the way over here. I didn't sleep at all on the flight, and then we just got on the golf course. It says Woods is longtime pals with old number 45. They've golfed together a bunch over the years, and back in 2019, Trump awarded the golfer with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, recognized as the highest civilian award in the U.S. So, Tiger Woods, top of his game. And of course, if you're top of your game, you're going to be a big Trump fan because Trump is top of his game. And quality recognizes quality. Am I right? The last thing we're going to talk about for a little bit, guys, is Joe Biden, who looks like he's in trouble. Is the fix in? Is this how they planned it? The whole time. This is how they planned it the entire time, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Biden starts his presidency during COVID, and maybe he's ending it because of COVID. Maybe, maybe not. We shall see. But this just in, guys. Biden tests positive for COVID. Shortens Las Vegas trip. Let's see what's going on here. President Joe Biden pulled out of a speech before the nation's largest Latino organization on Wednesday after he tested positive for COVID-19. I don't buy it. I think his campaign just realized it's going to be embarrassing. The attendance of, of people to a convention of his or a rally of his. There's probably so few people they realize that they're going to be in attendance. And they're like, okay, what do we do? Oh, let's just say that Joe Biden gets COVID. Because the images out of Joe Biden's rallies are so embarrassing. I mean, especially in contrast to Donald Trump's. It's like, who even likes this guy? Like, nobody does. Nobody does. There's like 3 people. It's crazy. But the positive test was initially announced by Unidos U.S. President and CEO Janet Margua, however you say, I don't know how you say that name, who prompted audible gasps. Oh no. As she said, she had bad news. We are disappointed to not hear from him here today, Margua said. We appreciate very much his wanting to have been here. She told the packed ballroom that she had just gotten off the plane with Biden, and she said Biden expressed regret for missing the event and promised to make it up. He said to tell my folks that we're not going to get rid of him that quickly. We're going to have a chance to hear from him in the future directly, Marjua said. He says he's just really sorry that he couldn't be with us. And the audience applauded. So Joe Biden tested positive for COVID. So if he tested positive for COVID, he's obviously taken all the precautions, that everyone took during, 2020, 2021, right? All these these precautions that Democrats try to force on the population, right? Right? Well, wait. Biden,
vaccines.
Where's your mask?
The president has received.
You're giving the reporter COVID right here.
Of vaccine as
Stop the spread, Biden. Where is your mask? I demand answers.
And that has really, all those elements
answers, and I demand them now.
Serve to increase his immunity.
Wow.
Plus, we also have packs
right there,
with it now,
he gave
and we've already heard that he can take a
two of them COVID.
Dr. Reiner, we're seeing live pictures of the president boarding Air Force One right now. And what jumped out at me, and I'm sure to others as well, I didn't see him wearing a mask as he was.
So, very sad, guys. Very sad. Joe Biden, patient zero, it looks like. Not only that, but Joe Biden was getting close to kids. Yeah, that's a little bit concerning. But he's getting close to kids with no mask? What's going on here?
You helped bring the money? How do they? Thank you.
No, Biden, no. Get away from me. Stranger danger.
How are you? Good to see you.
Terry obviously did not teach that trial correctly.
I didn't check me out.
Just walking around, just absolutely just spreading COVID everywhere, it looks like. But the media is talking about this, and Van Jones on CNN, he laments the fact that a bullet couldn't stop Trump, let me rephrase that. He laments the fact that a bullet couldn't stop Trump, but a virus just stopped Biden. Listen to Van Jones. And I think it's a good point. I'm not surprised at it. I'm not sad at it. But listen.
A bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus just stopped Biden. You've got the nominees of this party getting their butts kissed. Biden's getting his butt kicked by his own party. The Democrats are coming apart. The Republicans are coming together.
It's true. The Democrats are in absolute chaos. I've never seen them in this much chaos in my entire life. I've never seen a party in this much chaos in my entire life. I'm not that old, though. But I have followed politics for, my entire adult life. But other people I talk to have said the same thing. They've never seen a party in this much chaos. So, and also the Republican Party is more unified than ever. They really are. So you have a unified party and a fracturing party. Late in the year, not even sure if they're going to run the incumbent. No one knows. It's the weirdest thing. Speaking of weird things, though, this happened on MSNBC, if you thought they weren't even more crazy over there. Joey Reid compares the possibility of Joe Biden surviving COVID. So if Joe Biden survived COVID, she compares it, like these are the same things, to Donald Trump surviving a assassination attempt. So those are the same things. In her head, COVID, Joe Biden surviving COVID is the same thing as Donald Trump surviving an assassination attempt. And she whines about it because she doesn't think others will see it as the same thing. Listen.
The question that I have on that, these two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I got to interject here. Joy Reid, what exactly are you implying here? They always attack us when we say something that implies a certain thing. When we say things like, it's kind of odd, right? It's kind of odd that this building that was 150 yards away from Donald Trump wasn't secured. There wasn't security, Secret Service, police, or someone over there securing it. Like, well, what are you implying? Are you saying that someone was in on it? And here what is she implying? She says it's kind of weird that Trump was giving, several seconds to take that iconic photo. Well, okay, Joy, what are you implying here? Okay, what are you implying? Let's just turn this back around at you. But I just thought that was interesting.
Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength.
Because it is.
This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days, Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same?
No.
I mean, it's not exactly the same. It's not the same incident, but it's an elderly man coming through out of an illness.
Joy Reid, listen, no, it's not even close to the same. She's like, well, it's not exactly the same. It's not close to the same. It's not even the same ballpark. Okay, Joy? I see what you're trying to do there, but sorry, you missed. You struck out. Doesn't make sense. You sound ridiculous. It's obviously what you're trying to do, and it's not working here. So, Joy Reid, wow, for her to even say that is incredible. Hilarious. But Chuck Schumer told Joe Biden in private, that it would be best for the country if Joe were to drop out of the race. So could this signal a possibility that Joe is stepping down? Possibly. Listen.
One person who has been out there publicly defending Biden told me just a short while ago, Biden is going to see the whole house of cards come down soon. As for that meeting in Rehoboth, Delaware, I am told that this was a one-on-one meeting, just the Senate leader and the president, and that Chuck Schumer forcefully made the case that it would be better for Biden, better for the Democratic Party, and better for the country if he were to bow out of the race. And David, when I went to Schumer's office to ask them to tell them I was going to report this and tell you this tonight, absolutely no denial from Senator Schumer's office. They only said this: Leader Schumer conveyed the views of his caucus. In other words, the views of Democratic senators. I am also told that Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader in the House, has expressed similar views directly to the president. One person.
Very interesting. So they did not even deny it. They just said that they were expressing the views of the caucus. So it looks like Biden getting even more pressure to step down. I mean, I could have added them in the show, but if I did, this show would be so long. There's just multiple videos of Biden. I mean, he's worse than ever, guys. Now that the media is not trying to cover up the fact that he is, starting to fade very quickly, it's just wild, some of the stuff that he says, that they're focusing on. It's like they're trying to intentionally trip him up now. It's crazy. He's gone, guys. But last one we have for today, guys, and we're going to get to the chat, is Kash Patel. Let's hear what he has to say. He reacts live to the breaking news of Joe Biden testing positive for COVID. Listen.
Okay. All right. We have breaking news. Joe Biden has tested positive for COVID, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Biden has tested positive for the virus that Dr. Fauci created. So blame Dr. Fauci. Well, there it is. That's the breaking news.
Well, it's the setup. We saw it. The Biden administration just put out before this positive test that if he were to have a medical incident, he would consider opting out of the race. They are working to take him out. COVID is step one, and then they're going to have step two.
Wow. Okay.
So there he goes. He says it. This is how it was all set up. It was all orchestrated. It was all planned. It was the setup. He's going to have a medical emergency. I've heard people say this for like the past year, 2 years. Oh, this is how it's going to happen. He's going to have a medical emergency, and then they're going to do X, this and this. And it's true. So it's kind of following in line with what everyone was saying. So it hasn't happened yet, but it sure seems like it's about to happen. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the show. Thank you for watching. We got a lot of people in the chat. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. How is everybody doing this morning? How is everybody doing this morning? We got Jim Barron in the chat. He says, everyone, please smash that like button and share and subscribe. Yes, please. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for modding today. Michelle C. in the chat, doing a fantastic job as always. She says, smash that like button, subscribe, and share, please. Yes, please. Ladies and gentlemen, that helps me out a lot. still a small channel, you know? And I just lost Firebrand Media, who I used to contribute to. So that was a hit. So this is my only channel I have, okay? My only channel. So please help with that. Anthony Labunsky says, great job on Woke Thoughts. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. Michelle says, George was canceled by YouTube. Yeah. So the channel that I would go live weekly on, like a weekly, like 2 to 3 days a week, we would go live, talk about current events, usually at night. It was terminated by YouTube. Jim Barron says, we are there for you, Andrew. Hey, thanks, Jim. I appreciate you. Thomas Oaxaca says she should borrow a wig from Maxine Waters. Oh, please no. Please no. Jane Fleming says, does George have another channel? Sad to say, I don't think so. He sent me a screenshot of all these like YouTube channels that he had that were he hadn't even posted on, and even they were banned. So somehow they know. Very weird. Maybe Kelly says YouTube is terminating a bunch of channels. Yeah, that's correct. Thomas says Doug in Exile was canceled. That's correct. I did a short video on that. He was canceled, just kind of like George. YouTube is using the reason ban circumvention, because back in 2021, I believe, after that Media Matters article about George and Doug in Exile, a lot of channels were banned. And when they were banned, they came back and made other channels. So those channels now, 2 years later, are being banned. And it seems to be related to this Supreme Court ruling that allows the government to pressure social media companies to take down misinformation. It seems like they were waiting for that ruling to come out before they did anything, because Firebrand Media and Doug in Exile were banned at almost the exact same time. I think Firebrand Media was banned a day before. They were terminated a day before. Well, a day before I found out about Doug in Exile, at least. Willie says YouTube is removing people's comments and more. Yeah, I mean, YouTube has an automatic system. So if you guys comment on some of my videos, sometimes a comment will disappear. They have an automatic filtering system that, I mean, it's nothing I do. It's just automatic. It'll take a comment down depending on what it is, and I won't even see it. Jim Barron says, let those memes fly. Yeah. Type some emojis into the chat and look what happens. Look what happens up on the screen, guys. See, I make it fun for you guys. At the end here, I let you guys interact directly with the stream. You can type in emojis, whatever you want, and they'll fly up on the screen. You don't believe me? Try it. Try it. It works. After a short little delay, I think there's like a 15-second delay between when I'm talking and when you hear it. Let's see. What else we got here? What else? Yeah, Michelle says, find George on Twitter. Yeah, Behizzy tweets. He's got a fantastic Twitter account, guys. Follow George. He's brilliant at Twitter. Corporal Oreo says George has a Rumble setup, but doesn't post regularly on it. Yeah, he's got Rumble. Rumble, guys, it just doesn't. It has a ways to go. Their algorithm is not as good as YouTube's. You can't make nearly as much money off of Rumble, not even a fraction. So hoping they change that soon. I mean, I believe it's because advertisers are kind of, there's not as many advertisers that advertise on Rumble as YouTube. Google, YouTube have kind of cornered the market in that category. So maybe that will change when Donald Trump becomes president. We'll see. I see you guys are throwing up those emojis. Love it. Love the emoji. See, guys? See? Don't you like that? Should I keep that or should I take it away? Should I keep it or take it away? Because I can take it away in a heartbeat, just like this. Look, you see that? Boom. I can take it away. If you guys want to take it away, I'll take it away. But I kind of think it's cool. Elron LeVay says, Sarah Huckabee is hot and she can get it from me anytime. Bruh. Yo, okay. All right, I'll let her know you said that, Elron LeVay. Robin Swinger says, I do not think Biden will be with us after the medical emergency. This is how they get rid of him. My thoughts, anyways. Maybe. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show. Thank you for watching this morning. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. If you could, please, before we get off the stream, if you haven't yet, do me a favor and tap that like button, smash it, sniff it like Joe Biden, however you want to do it. But later today, I will be hopping on another stream to cover Donald Trump's address at the RNC. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to catch that. But I hope everybody has a good day. And ladies and gentlemen, God bless. See you on the next one.